Hey, what's up, YouTube? Israel back again with another quick fragrance video. Today, I'm going to have a almost a comparison video, sort of. Not a first impressions video of this one. I bought this one maybe 2 weeks ago. I already smelled it. Got this particular fragrance, on a recommendation by another reviewer named Babs. So a lot of you guys might know Babs. He does a lot of reviews on a lot of clone houses and stuff like that, particularly the House of Armoff, which, if you guys have been watching my videos, you know that I've been reviewing a lot of Armoff um, fragrances lately, because, you know, the name of my channel is Dollars and Cents, and they are widely known as a clone house. So they make a lot of high quality clones, and so far there's a ton out there, and there's a few others that are borderline clone houses, which I'm still not. I'm still on the fence, like about Parfums de Marly. I don't, apparently they make a lot of clone fragrances. To me, they stand alone as their own house, and plus the price doesn't match that they're a clone house. Because to me, if you're a clone house, you're gonna have a very similar scent, but for not as much money. And Parfums de Marly, the House of Parfums de Marly, they're probably upwards of 250, $300 for like a 4.2 ounce bottle. And I believe that's the only size they make. Not saying they don't make good fragrances. It's just, to me, in my category of clone houses, they need to smell like the original, as well as not be as expensive as the original, to sort of compete with their product. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to be sort of a discussion video, a comparison video, sort of a first impressions for you guys if you haven't tried this one. So this fragrance was brought to my attention by a guy named Babs, but there's only been one other review on it on YouTube, and I like to give shout outs whenever I can. And a gentleman named Sam Broom, if you're out there, brother, I saw your video about this one. I believe I already had this fragrance before I saw his video. I just wanted to check out to see if anyone else was talking about this. But originally I saw Bab's video, and he compared this fragrance to another popular fragrance that we all know and love. Most of us do anyway. I know I love this fragrance. A couple of years ago, or maybe a year or so ago, I was living in this apartment, so it had been 2 years ago, if anything. But I did a review on this fragrance and how I said that this fragrance is always going to be in my collection, and it was up until a week ago. But it's readily available; it's not discontinued, and so I wanted to try this one out because Babs said it reminded him of another popular fragrance, which is Dior Homme, and a lot of us love Dior Homme. I know I do. Dior Homme is the day version I guess, of Dior Homme Intense, which is another popular flanker that came out a while back, which is, to me, it's just a thicker and richer and better version of the original, in my opinion. And so if I were to have my choice of the two between these two fragrances, I would pick Dior Homme Intense over Dior Homme. But I love Dior Homme in its own right. It's just, if I were to choose between those two, I like the thicker, heavier fragrance. It's the best of both worlds, so I'd go with DHI. But I was intrigued when Babs said that this fragrance smelled like Dior Homme. And he particularly said it was the reformulated version of Dior Homme. Now, I had a bottle of the original, but I never smelled it because I got it was brand new, and I didn't want to spray it. I ended up selling it and getting a pretty good price for it. Because it was brand new, it had never been sprayed, and it was, I guess, sort of discontinued, I guess. Readily available, I think. But anyway, so I ended up going, I had a bottle up until about a week ago that I swapped for something else. But again, I can get it again. It's not completely discontinued, the reform. And I don't mind the reform either. But I had a 50 mil, so it's still like on my brain of what it smells like. So it's not like I haven't had it in a long time. So it's not really fair that I can compare video, but what I can, because I had it about a week ago before I shipped it out. And so all that to say, today I'm going to be doing a review on this particular fragrance, which is supposed to be a Dior Homme killer, possibly. Futura Broom by Armoff, by the House of Armoff. Here is the bottle. Armoff is known, if you guys are familiar with Club de Nuit Intense for Men, which is the Aventus killer clone. They always try to put little diamonds on their stuff here, on their little decals and stuff. And so here you have the bottle, and like Sam said in his video, he said this bottle kind of reminded him of Marc Jacobs Bang, because on the back end, if you see, it's kind of tilted, and it sort of has like a sort of a little crease down here in the middle, almost like the Bang bottle does. And it's kind of a funky looking bottle with thick glass, so the presentation's pretty decent on the bottle. Unfortunately, with my bottle, this little thing came off. I don't think that happens often. I just think I happened to get a bad bottle, but I put it back on with some glue, so it's no big deal. The cap here sort of has the same little plaque as here on the front side. The rest of it's a different colored, shinier metal here. Here's a sprayer. Honestly, the sprayer in this one doesn't work that good. It works, but it doesn't work as good as Dior Homme does. If you guys are familiar with Dior Homme bottles, they spray a ton of juice. Like if you barely push down, like a stream comes out. This one just sort of, it's a very, I'd say, I guess, cheap compared to Dior Homme. This just doesn't spray a lot of juice. So, like where Dior Homme, maybe one spray would spray about 2 sprays for this one. So if you guys, I'd go with spraying this one a little bit heavier. But I mean, the presentation's decent. It's thick glass. It's heavy. It's super duper heavy. This is metal with plastic inlay, so it's decent. I mean, for a cheap fragrance, this is pretty good. Here's the box. Again, Armoff has been impressing me with some of their products here. A lot of them aren't like the best, but some of these are pretty impressive, for what they are. So this is embossed here. You can feel the letters on this. You can feel this on top here. Sam Broom said in his video that Armoff has a Luxe series, which I'm assuming means deluxe. But it's supposed to be like Art de Parfum, better concentration, which apparently this is an Art de Parfum version of this. Now they do have an intense version of this, which doesn't smell like Dior Homme Intense, but it's really good, and I can't figure out what it smells like. I actually am contemplating ordering a bottle because I found a really great price online, and the place that's selling it is in my town, so I'm trying to work out to see if I can get it. I can pick it up to save a few dollars from close to my apartment. But so this is supposed to smell like DHI, or I'm sorry, Dior Homme. The reform version. Like I said, I've never smelled the original unformulated or preformed. But yeah, so I'm familiar with what this is supposed to smell like. So let me tell you the notes real quick. So this is from the House of Armoff. Like I said, it's considered an aromatic woody. It's an EDP concentration, which I'm not really sure at the percentages. I think it's like 80%, and then versus 20. But don't quote me on that. I'm just trying to go off of memory here. The top notes are lavender, sage, bergamot. The mid we have amber, iris, and coffee. In the base we have leather, vetiver, and cedar. Now let's make a quick comparison on the notes real quick, and I'll tell you another fragrance that this reminds me of. So these notes are exactly like Dior Homme, the reformulated version, except there's no cocoa in this like the reform version. And there's no cardamom in this like the preform. So the original Dior Homme has cardamom in it, and the rest of the notes that this does. But there's no cocoa in the reform. Like the reform has cocoa in it instead of cardamom. Now, what this does have, which is going to bring me to the next comparison I have of this fragrance, is this does have coffee instead of those notes. So instead of cardamom and instead of cocoa, this has coffee. So this actually smells a lot like Valentino Uomo. If you guys have tried that one, the one with the funky looking bottle that has like the little jagged spikes on it, and that one has like hazelnut and coffee beans and a few other things, and the people have compared that one to Dior Homme and DHI quite a bit. But this one with the coffee beans, this one actually smells like a perfect combination of Dior Homme, Valentino, and Dior Homme Intense. Now, it does smell like Dior Homme Intense to me a little bit. Some of the note, when you kind of smell it at a certain point, it does. At a certain point of the life of the fragrance, it does have like an intense a few of the qualities that Intense has, and I believe that might be just because the ingredients are amped up a little bit because it's supposed to be an eau de parfum concentration. Okay, um, so if you guys have tried Valentino Uomo, which I had that bottle as well, so I can attest to it. Now, it has the best parts of Valentino Uomo. It doesn't, like, I didn't like Valentino Uomo. You can go back to my video, even though it's really terrible quality. But when I was getting my computer fixed, um, it had like this weird mineral note in it that I really didn't like. But I love the coffee beans. And I love how it smelled a little bit like Dior Homme and Dior Homme Intense. So I thought that was pretty good. This one actually smells like all three, so that's pretty impressive for a cheap arm off fragrance. So let me spray a little bit on my arm and kind of tell you what I smell. Now, like I said, the sprayer is kind of crappy on this one, so I'm going to go with like 4 sprays. And I spray close with this because, like I said before, the Dior Homme bottle sprays so much juice. Like, you have to spray this like 4 times to get maybe 2 sprays of the Dior Homme original. And I got to spray it close. So, and I'm familiar with how it sprays because I wear it all. Before I swapped it, I wore it all the time. And so, it would like drizzle my arm. And so 4 sprays really close is going to be about what you get from the Dior Homme bottle, okay? So I'm just kind of giving you guys kind of a heads up. Okay, so this thing is like super duper sharp. It smells like the vetiver is really strong. It's very earthy and dirty, just like I call it in my last video I did for Dior Homme. I called it rooty, earthy and rooty, almost like dirt. But like that's just because it's like super like concentrated, so it's like still opening up. Let's see, it's rooty and it's very clean. And after about, I don't know, 5, 7, maybe even 10 minutes after you let it open up a little bit on your arm, that's when the lipstick note comes out. Like everyone says, Dior Homme has a lipstick note. That's when the cosmetic makeup bag. I hate saying the same things that everybody else says because it's just been said to death. But it's true. So the makeup bag, the cosmetic smell, the lipstick note or whatever starts to come out. I don't mind that. I actually like it. It gives it a unisex feel. It doesn't bother me at all that it does have that smell. It's different. No one else really has it except for the original. And so, yeah, this thing smells like very, very similar to Dior Homme. Like, they do a good job of cloning it. And, like, the fact that they use the same notes, like, they do a pretty good job figuring out how they formulated this stuff, and they put it together pretty well. Let's see here. I paid, so we'll go with the price first. Now, I found a place in my town that sells these for about $30. Okay, it's a 100 ml bottle. I went on eBay to kind of check out prices about a week ago, and then I went on there again tonight before I made this video. They've gone up. Like, these things have gone up. I've seen on some eBay stores, these things have gone up to like $80, $70, $65. There's maybe 1 or 2 stores that still have them for super cheap, like I found them. I think I found another store on there for $25, $23, maybe even $20. But for some reason, either people are kind of figuring this stuff out, because no one's even talking about this one on YouTube. There's not even a Fragrantica page for this. I had to get the notes from the website, which is artmoth.com, Sterling Perfumes. But someone either figured it out and going, you know what, this stuff's going to blow up overnight, so we need to go ahead and jack the prices up. But the prices have gone up. Like, they have tripled. So I even went on Amazon, and they're like $90 on there, $80. If you get lucky, you can find one of these. I would still say this is a cheapy but good fragrance because I got it for such a good price. And if you do a little digging, you should be able to get a good price from another store on eBay. Yeah, this one's starting to open up a little bit. I got to be honest with you. I get the same exact performance I get from DH, from Dior Homme, and this. And what I paid, it's a quarter of the price. Now, like I just said, like it's going to be higher. Now, if you can't find this anywhere for cheap, for below $30 or maybe $30, $35, then don't bother. Just go get the Dior Homme, okay? Like, the whole point of this video is to kind of tell you guys that there is a version out there that costs less. But if you can't find it for less and you really want something, just go with Dior Homme because there's no point. That's like the whole point of this. But like I said, just if you guys can find it for the good price, then definitely try to get your hands on this. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with this stuff. I don't know if people are kind of hyping it up. I looked on base notes. I only found one mention of this stuff on there. I'm not trying to start a hype train or nothing like that. I'm just trying to help you guys out with trying to find an alternative for Dior Homme if you can't find, if you can't afford to buy the real bottle or whatever. To me, it's the same performance, same longevity as the original Dior Homme, the reformulated version. It smells just as good. The opening is a lot sharper and a lot stronger, which might throw you off at first, but after a while, you're like, "Wow, that smells really good." And that those coffee beans in this give you that Valentino Uomo flavor. And when I first smelled it, I was like, "Man, that smells really good." I had a friend of mine here the other day. I tried it on Lone Star Fragrances, and he said it kind of died down a little bit. I can't smell it anymore, but I was like, I don't know. I still smell it. I think it still has good projection and good, decent sillage, good longevity. I would venture to say that it has the same performance as Dior Homme. Some people won't believe me. That's fine. But Dior Homme never really got good, like huge, like really, really awesome performance on me anyway. So to me, if it's the same, then you need to buy this one because to me it's the same. Because after a while, I can still smell it, like the dry down and whatnot. But like I said, I used to spray a ton of that stuff on just because the bottle was so. The bottle was like the sprayer would just spray so much juice, so I would have so much on me. Then that's why it would last so long. So again, like I said, like if you guys can see how much I've used, that's a lot of juice. I've probably used maybe 10 mils, 10, 15 mils already, and I've only had it for like 2 weeks. Because I have to over apply, not because I'm trying to compensate for the fact that it's weak. It's because I know that's how Dior Homme was. Like they would spray a ton of juice, and like with the ingredients they used in this, I just don't think they have. It just has like super long longevity anyway. That's just the ingredients. Like a lot of fragrances in the summer, like bergamot and your citruses and limes and lemons and all that, they don't last very long. So I'm guessing whatever they use in this, doesn't last a huge amount of time either, because I believe they did a good job in replicating the original. So like I said, and there's a intense version of this which do not think that it smells like DHI because it doesn't. I tried it the other day and it smells great. Don't get me wrong, it smells really really great. But it doesn't smell like DHI, and I still can't put my finger on what it smells like. But it reminded me a bit of a pencil leady, peppery, black peppery, almost like a 1 million type scent. But I know that it smells like something, and I can't put my finger on it, and it's still bothering me now. And part of me wants to just buy a bottle so I can just have it, because I think I've seen those going up on price too on eBay, and I found a place in my town that sells them for cheap. So I kind of want to go buy one of those too, just so I can have it in my collection. And once I figure out what it smells like, and be like, okay, that's what it smells like. Nice, I've got this bottle for $25. Like it's worth it. Cool. And that comes in a matte black bottle, and it still has the same exact bottle and everything. It just comes in a matte black. So yeah, like I said, guys, if you guys can find a cheap bottle of this stuff, get your hands on it, because I think the prices are just going to keep going up, even though there's no hype around this. There's only my video, which is going to be out soon, and then there's Sam Broom's video, and then whatever Babs talked about, which he didn't even, I don't think he did an exclusive on this. He just talked about it in a comparison video he did with like 15 or 20 other fragrances, But a shout out to Babs and a shout out to Sam for talking about this one. He kind of brought this one to light for me. But yeah, man, I think you guys should get your hands on this one if you guys can get it for a good price. Like I said, if you can't find it for a good price, then don't even worry about it. Just buy Dior Homme. Because to me, this is a darn good replica, a clone of that one. And Armoth's been impressing me lately. But with their clones, and like I said, I still get decent projection longevity out of this one. I would say it's gonna last a good 4 hours, 3 to 4. Like I said, I generously apply this, and I would wear this in the summer, like when it's like hot, and it's gonna amp it up even more. I apply this one very liberally because I want to get noticed. So that's just how I wore this one always anyway. So if you're just a 1 or 2 spray guy, I don't know what to tell you, because I don't do 1 or 2 sprays of any fragrance that I own, even like the expensive stuff that lasts a long time. Like I try to get noticed. I'm not that guy, but I'm close to being that guy. So if you guys are just a 1 or 2 spray guy, I can't tell you about that. I apply pretty liberally anyway, pretty generously on my skin anyway. So To me, how I spray it is the reason why I get good longevity out of this one. So, like I said, if you're a 1 to 2 spray guy, you probably don't want to, spend your money on this one. But to me, this is an excellent replication of the original Dior of Dior Homme, the reformulated version. But I think it's a great version of it. So I would say that this is a Dior Homme killer for the price. For the price point only, the fact that it still smells the same and it sort of has the same longevity and projection and just the way it performs. I would venture to say that Armaf Futura Pour Homme is a decent clone of Dior Homme. So, like I said, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Let me know if you've tried Futura Pour Homme. Let me know if you've tried the intense version. Let me know what you think about that, and if you know what it smells like, tell me, because I'm still trying to figure out what it smells like. And so, if you try to find this one cheap online, I will put a link up to the cheapest website that I have. I'm at 21 minutes here, guys. Sorry if it's a long video. Hopefully I'm not boring you guys to death. But I'll try to put up a link where you guys can find the cheapest bottle of this. But like I said, if not, maybe I can. Hopefully I can find a cheap one of this for you guys or somewhere. Yeah. So. Let me know if you try this one. Let me know what you think. Let me know how your day is going. Thanks for all the comments, for all the subscriptions. I passed 1,500. Thank you guys so much. I was at 1,400 the other day, and I was going to say thank you, but then it just went to 15 and some change, and I was like, wow, that was awesome. So thank you guys for subscribing, for watching, for commenting. I try to get back to everybody. Like I said, you guys have a great. It's Friday night. Stayed home tonight. I got a gig tomorrow night, so I'm just trying to rest up for that. It's going to be a late one. So thanks you guys for watching. Y'all have a great, safe weekend, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.